Hey guys, it's Phantom Yugioh, and in this video I want to share 5 things that you should consider when trying to build or grow your collection so that you can maximize the value of your collection over the long term. I got into the game by collecting before I started playing competitively. I learned a lot of things, and I kind of want to just share those back with you guys so that you can maximize the efficiency of the money that you're able to put into the game. Yu-Gi-Oh is a really expensive hobby, especially collecting Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays, so it's good to know these things starting off so that you don't make the same mistakes I did, and so that you can get the most bang for your buck for what you're able to put in, no matter what level that is. These concepts should apply no matter what kind of allowance you have for yourself to put into collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm going to go through my 5 things, I'm going to show some examples, and hopefully you can take something away from this that'll help you build your collection. So let's check it out. Alright, the first thing I want to talk about is probably the most important thing, and it's very simple, and I'll just get it out of the way quick. Condition. Always buy good condition cards. I recommend near mint as much as possible. In some cases, in very few cases, near mint is just outrageously more than light played. For example, if there was a buyout, someone bought up all the near mint copies, and now the next one is, $500 when a light play one is $60, then yeah, I recommend just going for the light play. It's a better value there. But otherwise, if it's just a couple extra bucks, a few extra percent for near mint over light play, I highly recommend you go into getting near mint. And then the next thing is edition. Always buy first edition when the option presents itself. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't apply. For example, OTS Ultimates are always unlimited, so don't worry about that. But if a card comes in first edition, you have to get the first edition because that will hold its value the best over time, and it won't drop off after, maybe a reprint or maybe it becomes a little less relevant. The first edition will hold its value best. Alright guys, the second thing I want to talk about is collecting things that have a unique rarity, and these are really good at holding value and are highly desirable by collectors everywhere. So what I mean by unique rarity is rarities that are usually promos in sets or used to sell the set, and I have a list here. Ghost, Ulti, Starlight, Collector's Rare, and even Dual Terminal for a lot of cards for a lot of the old iconic boss monsters like Trishula, Evil Swarm, Ophion. Anything Dual Terminal is kind of desired because it's really hard to find those. You can't really find them anymore nowadays, so that contributes to its rarity and therefore to its price and ability to retain value. So if you have the opportunity to pick between something that's ultra rare or secret rare or whatever, or something that's one of these unique rarities, I recommend going for the unique rarity every time. Personally, what I do is focus on ghost rares. I'm a big ghost rare collector. I'm a big fan of ultimate rares, so I collect ultimate rares. I haven't yet gotten into Starlights or collector rares yet, but I may in the future. But yeah, I recommend picking up something unique because it's always going to catch an eye. It's always going to be easy to trade or sell, and it will hold value for sure. So unique rarities are definitely important. Alright, the next thing, and this is the biggest mistake I see a lot of collectors make, is buying things that are not resilient to getting a reprint. Here I have a quick example. We have Ash Blossom, which is a secret, its original print secret rare is about $100, give or take. And then we have a collector's rare Skullmeister, which is also about $100. And when given $100 and having to choose between one of these two, I would pick the Skullmeister every time. And as you know, Ash Blossom is a hand trap that has not yet gotten an ultimate rare reprint or collector's rare reprint or Starlight rare, and most of the other hand traps have, and it's only a matter of time. So this value of secret rare Ash will drop eventually when that reprint comes. However, Skullmeister will not drop off as a collector's rare no matter how many reprints it gets, because all the reprints will be lower rarity than the collector's rare, and therefore the collector's rare will hold the value. So say you buy, if you were to buy Ash Blossom for $100 and it gets an ultimate rare reprint, that secret rare Ash will probably drop to $60 or $70, and we saw this same thing happen with Ghost Ogre. Its original print was up near this price. It got an ultimate rare reprint. Now the ultimate rare reprint is up around this price and more, and the secret rare is down around 60 bucks. So the same thing will happen to Ash eventually. So I do not recommend buying something like that. But the Skullmeister situation is a lot better. It will not drop value. If you were to pay $100 for Skullmeister, you'll probably be able to sell it back for almost $100 anytime in the future or more. It could go up. So yeah, this is definitely the way to go. And I have a couple more examples of bad buys right now because these cards are not resilient to a reprint. We have the Forbidden Droplet Secret Rares, and then the Blackluster Soldier of Chaos Secret Rare. These cards are both around $100, give or take. But I like to kind of do a little thought experiment to myself of what if this card gets reprinted as a Secret Rare in the next two Battles of Legend sets, or what if it gets an ultra rare print in something like an equivalent to Duelist Overload or Dual Power or Dual Devastator, something like that. That would seriously tank the value of these cards, and therefore I do not want to touch them with a 10-foot pole because all the value I would put into buying these cards will go away at the drop of a hat on the next reprint announcement. But however, if I wanted to buy a BLS Link, I would get the Ghost Rare for 200 bucks, and that's because if the BLS Link gets a reprint in the next 3 sets, the Ghost Rare price will not go anywhere because it is a unique rarity. It's the highest rarity of BLS, and it's desirable for collectors that not only want BLS Link, but also want Ghost Rares. So the demand for this card is crossing over several groups, and that keeps the price high. So we want to invest in stuff like that. Similarly, Chaos Dragon Levianeer, the ulti is around 60 bucks. No matter how many lower rarity reprints this thing gets, the ulti price is not going to go anywhere. It could get a common, it could get a secret, it doesn't matter. The ulti is staying where it's at. So something like this is very resilient to a reprint, and I recommend getting something like that if you want to spend your money there. The next thing to consider is the nostalgia factor. Cards that have deep roots in the TV show, or that have deep roots in past formats that were very popular, are bound to retain their value just because of collectors wanting to collect these cards, or people trying to play past formats, build past format decks. They're going to want these cards as well, so the demand will be very high for these and the value won't go anywhere on these kind of cards. If you have ever taken a look at any prices of Ultimate Rare Hero Fusions, you are going to see that the lowest one you can get is, in the hundreds of dollars, and, the highest ones are up in multiple $1,000s for stuff like Shining Flare Wingman and Tempest. The Near Mint first edition ones are astronomical, so hero cards are bound to retain value. They're bound to stay high in price, and that's the kind of stuff you want to buy if you want to hold value in your collection. And then stuff like Dark Magician Girl, of course, is a fan favorite, so pretty much any version of Dark Magician Girl will be wanted by someone. And then something like Dark-Armed Dragon, it was used in several past formats that were very popular. It was used in Teledad format, it was used in Chaos Dragon format, and probably a whole bunch of other stuff since Dark-Armed Dragon's been released. Maybe Inzectors, used in Inzectors as well. So something like that will hold a lot of value because people remember, oh man, Dark-Armed Dragon, that was a boss monster for, a 5-6 year span, and I need to have that card in my collection, and therefore the demand for it is high and it will hold value for you as well. So pick up cards like that have roots in nostalgia, roots in the show, roots in past formats, and you will minimize the risk of losing the value of those cards. Alright, the next one I want to touch on is time since meta relevance, and this is just another way of saying hype. Cards that, card prices go up and down with the meta, especially when they're meta relevant cards, or if they are getting support announced, whether or not it's actually relevant to the meta. You know, they could be a trash archetype, but if some support gets announced, the prices will shoot up. And when the prices shoot up, you want to stay away from those kind of cards. Here I have an example of Sky Striker Ace Hayate, which is about 60 bucks, and then Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, which is about 60 bucks. And right now, when I'm making this video, Sky Striker is probably top tier, or at least, you know, top 2 tiers. So Hayate is about as high as it will be for the time being. Whereas Spellbook Magician of Prophecy is doing absolutely nothing in the meta. So once it does do something in the meta, it will go from $60 up to 100 bucks. Whereas Hayate will go from $60 down to wherever it was, 40 bucks, 50 bucks maybe, when Sky Strikers either fall out of the meta or take a ban list hit. You know, if Kagari gets hit to 1, Sky Strikers will fall off the map and nobody won't want their Hayates anymore. They'll sell them and the price will drop big time. So if I had $60 right now and had to choose between one of these two cards, I would definitely choose the one that's less meta relevant, all other things held equal, and that will be more likely to hold my value over time. Just a couple more examples of hype for bad buys. Right now, Forbidden Chalice is probably as popular as it's been in years, and an ultimate rare first edition, which is, you know, the unique rarity and the best condition, and, you know, first ed, it's about $300, which is insane. I think just probably a year ago today it was probably about $100, and now it's $300. So the hype is unreal for this card, and I would not even dream of putting $300 towards it. Similar case with Baxia. Baxia has been out of the meta forever, until Sword Soul got announced, and now it shot up to 70 bucks. And I don't think there's anything that could give Baxia more hype than what Sword Soul gave it. So I think $70 is at about its peak, and therefore the value will only drop. So I would not recommend getting any of these cards. Whereas stuff like this, I would recommend. Infernoid Terra. Infernoids have been irrelevant, you know, in the meta for years, basically, since Grass and Zoo Infernoids. And then Gladiator Beasts, the same thing. But any hint of support for these things, and these prices will shoot up very high, and you can make a lot of money, or increase the value of your collection pretty easily. So I recommend buying stuff like this instead of stuff like this, just because you want to time your purchases well. Patience is very key in building your collection. If you see a card you want and the price is really high because of hype, you might have to wait. You might have to wait 6 months. You might have to wait even a year, but you will get that card, and you will get it for less money than it is right now if you just wait for it to die down in hype. Alright guys, those were my 5 tips. Let me know what you think about them. I kind of want to give some more focus on this channel to the collecting side of the game rather than just deck profiles. So let me know if you guys are interested in that kind of thing. Leave a comment about it. Like and subscribe on the video if you want to see more of this kind of content. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.